Jiwoo was a quiet, kind girl who lived with her grandmother in a busy city full of noise, lights, and tall buildings. Every day, she sat at her small wooden stall in the market, selling handmade bead necklaces and bracelets. Her hands worked, fast, her heart calm and full of hope. One bright afternoon, a black car stopped at the edge of the market. Out stepped Taeyang, a rich and powerful man. People said he was the youngest billionaire in the city. He wore shiny shoes, dark glasses, and a suit that looked more expensive than anything Jiwoo had ever touched. A crowd quickly gathered, watching him walk proudly with his assistant Dae-soo. Taeyang was there to give food to the poor, but mostly for cameras and attention. Jiwoo, not knowing who he was, smiled and walked up to him. She held out a beaded necklace, the colors shining in the sun. "For you," she said softly. "To thank you for visiting our market." Taeyang looked at the necklace, then laughed loudly. "What is this? A toy?" he said. The crowd went quiet. He held it up and said, "Do you think someone like me would wear this junk? Who even made this?" "I did," Jiwoo said, her voice small. Taeyang dropped the necklace on the ground and walked away, laughing. Jiwoo stood still, eyes burning, but no tears falling. From the edge of the crowd, Grandmother Hana watched quietly, whispering, "The sky sees all." That night the stars were quiet and the wind was soft. Jiwoo sat with her grandmother Hana under the old baobab tree. Hana closed her eyes and whispered old words to the spirits of the land. "Let truth rise and pride fall," she said. Jiwoo did not understand, but she trusted her grandmother. Far away in his tall glass tower, Taeyang laughed with his rich friends. He told them how he had made fun of the market girl. They laughed with him, but their laughter was thin and cold. Dadio. Next morning, something strange began to happen. One of Taeyang's biggest companies lost a major deal. By the afternoon, another business failed. His phone rang with bad news all day. Reporters wrote stories about his past mistakes. People online called him proud and cruel. At the same time, Jiwoo's life began to change. A photo of her beaded necklace went viral. Tourists came to her little stall in the market. A rich woman from overseas bought many of her crafts. Jiwoo stayed calm. She gave free food to children and helped other market sellers. Dae-soo, Taeyang's assistant, noticed the change. He watched as Jiwoo grew in kindness and strength, while Taeyang's world slowly broke. Hana looked at the sky and smiled. "The spirits do not forget," she said. Now the city began to talk, not about the proud billionaire, but about the quiet girl whose heart was richer than gold. Taeyang walked through the city streets alone. Once people would run to greet him. Now no one looked at him. His clothes were dirty. His shoes were old. He had no money, no car, and no friends. He felt small in a city where he used to feel like a king. One day he reached the village market. He was tired and hungry. He sat under a tree thinking about his mistakes. Just then, Hana, the old grandmother, walked by. She saw him and sat next to him. "You remind me of a story," Hana said. "A leopard once laughed at a goat for being weak. But when the leopard fell into a pit, it was the goat who helped him out." Taeyang listened quietly. His heart felt heavy. He looked at Hana with sad eyes. "I was proud," he said. "I hurt Jiwoo. I laughed at her." Hana nodded. "The spirits have taught you. Now you must learn from your pain." Taeyang stood up slowly. He asked around and found Jiwoo's new shop. It was full of color, light, and happy customers. Her beads shined like the stars. Inside he saw Dae-soo, his old assistant, smiling and helping customers. He looked free and peaceful. Taeyang took a deep breath. His journey was not over, but he knew what he had to do next. He would ask for forgiveness, not just with words, but with actions. This time he would choose the right path. Taeyang stood in the middle of the busy market where it all began. He was no longer rich, no longer proud. His clothes were plain, his eyes full of regret. People gathered around, curious. Jiwoo stood at the entrance of her beautiful new shop. the same place where she was once humiliated. She looked calm, peaceful. When Taeyang saw her, he walked slowly to her and dropped to his knees. "I am sorry," he said, loud enough for all to hear. "I was wrong. I was proud and blind. You showed me kindness and I gave you shame." The crowd watched in silence. Jiwoo looked at him for a moment. Then she helped him up. "I forgive you," she said. "But remember, forgiveness does not bring back power. It only opens the door to become better." From that day, Taeyang chose a new life. He worked with the people he once looked down on. He helped the poor, shared food, and taught children. He had no money, but he had respect. Jiwoo's shop became a center of beauty, culture, and stories. Daesu helped manage it, and even tourists came to visit. People loved Jiwoo, not because she was rich, but because she was wise. In the village, grandmothers told children the story of the billionaire and the beads. They said, "Gold shines, but the heart glows." Moral: the proud fall, but the humble rise again. If you liked this story, subscribe for more powerful and emotional tales.